Welcome back. You're watching Morning Express. We're keeping you updated on jury selection in the George Zimmerman case. So here we are. And again, the court wants a pool of 40 prospective jurors. And at the end of the day, they're going to boil that down to 6 jurors and 4 alternates. And they have 32 of the 40. So they could end up at the end of this day with the 40. That's a possibility. With us now, Philip Snyder, attorney, watching things concerning the jury. How concerned are you, Philip, that you've got the stealth juror out there? Or do you think the attorneys have done a good job questioning and they've been able to ferret those folks out of there?
I think they've done a great job questioning so far. And remember, we're only in the publicity phase. We still have the phase where they get to ask them more detailed questions individually. But with regard to the stealth juror, it's very, very difficult in this type of case. You have to trust that what they're saying is the truth. So you have to ask them in certain different ways and try to trick them up to see if their true beliefs are really coming out.
Got it. Okay, and we're going to continue to monitor jury selection, but let's talk about the all-important Fry hearing concerning the all-important topic of voice recognition experts. And at the end of the day, can an expert tell this jury that in the background of the 911 call, that's definitively George Zimmerman or Trayvon Martin yelling for help, and the Fry hearing is going to resume tomorrow as the state has their expert to rebut the defense's expert who basically said, no, you really can't, you can't definitively do this, kind of siding with the FBI and all this. With all that said, Philip, where do you think we are with this? And should the judge allow this in? I mean, how should this play out to be fair to both sides?
This is probably the most crucial element of the case because without that 911 call and that expert saying definitively that that was Trayvon Martin yelling for help, I don't think that the state has a shot of possibly getting to a murder too. So it's important for the judge to weigh that. But the bottom line is the defense experts have been so credible. They're coming from the FBI. They're coming from all these other different reliable communities that are saying that this is hokum. The state's experts cannot possibly base a decision on 1 or 2 snippets of voice recognition. So based on that and based on how great the defense experts have been, I think it's going to be very difficult for the judge to allow an expert to testify definitively one way or the other.
And why they can't get to murder 2 without that, that kind of testimony?
Well, here's the thing. All the evidence really points to that George Zimmerman's story holds water. And the one possible out they have for the state is by introducing that 911 tape and having an expert or 2 say, no, 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 no. That's Trayvon Martin yelling for help. Now you have a situation where Zimmerman's claim that he was acting in self-defense is rebutted. Without that tape, I don't see any evidence coming in that could possibly point to George Zimmerman's story that he wasn't acting in self-defense have an issue.
And real quick, could the 911 tape be played in court without expert testimony? Just let the jury listen.
Absolutely. In fact, most of the time, voice recognition is something that a juror can do on their own. They hear people speaking every day, and they make decisions on to whose voice that is. It's very rare to have an expert come in and testify to something of this nature. The reason why it's such a point of contention is because the sound is muffled. You know, I think that's something the jury could listen to, and I think that the jury can make their own decision based on listening to the tape.
Got it. Okay, Philip, great work. Joining us to talk about it, our expert criminal defense attorney, Philip Snyder. Philip, as you listen to this, what are your thoughts as we have 30, need 8 more to get to this pool of 40? You think the process is going right, or do you have concerns with a high-profile case and you've got potential jurors with agendas?
I think so far they're doing as well as they can. Clearly, people will have agendas. Hopefully, both sides have been able to ferret them out. I know that one juror came in and said, yes, I'm fair and impartial. I have no bias. And then they did a check on him through, likely through Facebook or some other social media, and they found that he's been posting critical of the Sanford police. So I think that they've done the best job they can, and clearly they have the resources to check the veracity of these juror statements.
And talk about that. What kind of team do you have to assemble, and how fast does it get moving to where you're looking up Facebook pages and any kind of research you can do on somebody to make sure they're not hiding something?
It's important to realize that most trials don't go this way. I mean, I know from the state side, we pick juries in an hour where they say, hey, the first 6, you look good, let's go back. The defense and the state are spending so much time and effort making sure that every juror is saying what they truly believe. And with Facebook and with Twitter and with other social media capabilities, they have the access to really check the veracity of those statements.
Got it. Okay, the other huge issue still on the table, and Philip, you've got good insight on this, is the Fry hearing. And the issue from that Fry hearing is basically to decide voice recognition experts, should they be allowed to testify? Because in this case, it could be huge, and Philip, you've talked about it. It's an expert basically saying and telling a jury, yes, I can listen to the cries in the background of a 911 call for help, and it's either George Zimmerman or Trayvon Martin. Where do you see this one going? What should that judge let in?
Well, here's the thing. It looks as if the state experts are saying that, look, this science is reliable, which is the key standard, generally reliable in the community. The defense experts are saying, yes, the science is reliable, but only under very ideal circumstances. And the way I was explained to someone is, imagine Siri on the iPhone. You type in Siri, you say, hey, Siri, take me to McDonald's. She takes you to McDonald's. Imagine your voice is muffled and you're screaming in the car and you say, take me to McDonald's, and she takes you to Allentown, Pennsylvania. It's not a reliable method. I think the judge is going to realize that with the defense experts, that is just not at the point in today's society where that evidence will be admitted into the jury's purview.
And again, to let everybody know, if it is let in, both sides are going to have an expert to say it's either George Zimmerman or Trayvon Martin. Now, the FBI tried, and they say that the audio quality was just too poor. They could not definitely decide, they couldn't testify to whose voice it is. So we'll see how that goes. That continues tomorrow. And again, Philip, thank you for your insights on this. Great expert analysis.